Hello and welcome to your weekly weather briefing for North and Central Georgia. My name is Dave Nadler. I'm the Warning Coordination Meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Atlanta. So let's look ahead here. We are hitting the highlights for Memorial Day weekend. We are expecting cloudy and cool conditions through the weekend as kind of an unusual persistent area of low pressure off the Atlantic coast affects the southeast region. I'll show that pattern here in just a second. But by Saturday and Sunday, we could see parts of the area, especially in the far eastern parts of the state, as cool as 15 to 25 degrees below normal for highs. I'll show that as well. And along with that, we could see some rainfall begin to move in by Saturday from the south and east. Still a little bit of uncertainty as to how far west and how much rain actually occurs through the weekend, but definitely the farther south and east you go across the state, the better chances for rain this weekend, along with the very cool temperatures for late May. Good news, as we head through Memorial Day itself and then into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, warmer and slightly drier conditions are expected. And we are not expecting any high impact weather events to occur over the next 5 to 7 days. So here it is. This is the just looking at the upper levels of the atmosphere. We have a big, broad area of low pressure, a couple of of upper level lows sort of rotating around each other. Surface low off the Florida Atlantic coast is going to start to meander back to the northwest. Across parts of South Carolina and into close to eastern Georgia by this weekend. So this is basically looking at about a 48-hour window, showing you where the upper level flow, the upper level pattern is. And I want to kind of draw your attention to the colors because we are looking at how deep this upper level pattern or this upper level low is. And the green yellow shaded areas are 2 to 3, what we call 2 to 3 standard deviation below normal, which means that for this time of year, for this type of a pattern to occur with this type of low pressure system, you're looking at only a 0.3 to 5% chance of occurrence. So it is really unusual to get this type of a low pressure system for late May across the southeast region and even into Florida. And as a result, that's why we're going to see the cooler, much cooler conditions than what we typically see for late May, and also along with the cloudy conditions and the rainfall. So for high temperatures tomorrow, Friday, we're going to be running around normal for this time of year, upper 70s, lower 80s for much of the area. Kind of an increase in moisture and cloud cover throughout the day from the south and east. As you can see, a little bit of the cooler temperatures are actually farther south and east compared to parts of northwest Georgia, but generally speaking, should be fairly dry, just increasing clouds with high temperatures near normal, maybe a few degrees below normal in parts of the east central and southeast parts of the state. Notice now on Saturday, however, these are high temperatures, not lows. Generally in the lower 60s for parts of the eastern third of the state, basically from the Blairsville, Cleveland, down to Athens, Louisville area, Swainsboro, Vidalia. I mean, we're looking at temperatures what would typically be in the mid 80s for highs are going to be in the lower 60s. So you can see the map to the right shows departure from normal for this day, running anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees across the far west to as much as 20 to 30 degrees below normal across the eastern portion of the area. So that's pretty extreme when you're talking about departure deviations from normal, whether it's warm or cool, of course. And in this case, it's going to be quite cool for late May. Again, this is for Saturday. It's high temperatures, and then on Sunday we moderate a little bit as the upper level low starts to pivot out just a little, but we're still running with high temperatures in the 60s and lower 70s. We're still running anywhere 10 to 15, as much as 20 degrees below normal for portions, areas east of I-75 and south of I-85 there, north of I-16. That general area, we're going to be, could see temperatures with staying in the 60s all day on Sunday, running 15 to 20 degrees below normal as the cloud cover and some rain continues across parts of the state. Now, heading into Memorial Day itself, we do rebound nicely as, again, that upper low swing continues to swing east of the area. We kind of get out of that real cool, cloudy, wet pattern Saturday and Sunday. By Monday, we should see a little bit more sun. Temperatures start to rebound back into the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s, closer to where we should be for this time of year. So hopefully, anybody having plans specifically for Memorial Day on Monday, things look like they'll be a little bit better by Monday versus Saturday and Sunday. Rainfall at this time is very, very subject to change based on kind of where that surface low tracks from the Atlantic into parts of South Carolina. But at this time, most of the rain is going to be over the far northeast and eastern part of the state, where we could see anywhere from a quarter to up to an inch of rain. Higher amounts, of course, closer to the center of the low pressure system over along the coast, South Carolina, and on up into North Carolina to the north and east of the low. Again, this could shift. This axis of heavier rain could certainly shift to the south and west over the next couple of days as we start to see the evolution and the track of that surface low off the Atlantic coast there. So, but at this time, if you're generally along and south or west of I-75, rainfall shouldn't be too much of an issue, but spotty light rain, drizzle with some cloud cover on Saturday, Sunday can be expected for areas across west central and southwest Georgia, with the more organized rainfall across parts of northeast and east central Georgia. So looking ahead at once we get beyond Monday, Memorial Day, Tuesday through the rest of the week into next weekend, temperatures are going to moderate. We start to see at or slightly above normal temperatures by the end of the week, and precipitation should be about normal. We're not really expecting any widespread high, heavier rainfall once the system gets out of here by the weekend. Could see a few afternoon, evening storms pop up by middle to end of next week. But at this time, nothing too terribly unusual for this time of year. And I wanted to also point out, we wanted to point out that today NOAA released its Atlantic Basin Tropical Outlook, and there have been some other companies or groups, that have released data already for the upcoming season. But basically, NOAA is predicting anywhere from 12 to 17 named storms, the average being 14, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and 1 to 4 major hurricanes, which would be a Category 3 or higher on the Saffir-Simpson scale. So, right, kind of looking at near normal or normal conditions for active. An active season. I will say, not getting into the details, but we are expecting a moderate to potentially strong El Nino pattern, which comes from the sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean, parts of the Pacific Ocean region. That typically results in lesser activity over the Atlantic Basin for tropical systems. But despite that, we are in a 30-year cycle where active seasons, active tropical seasons exist. We can't rule out, of course, the sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean and parts of the Atlantic are above normal, which always can fuel some of these tropical systems as we head through June, July, and August, and towards the peak of the hurricane season, which is the first couple of weeks of September. So anyway, we'll be talking more about this and other group settings and presentations, but I just wanted to share this with everybody for reference, and hope everybody is, especially along near the coast and just inland, taking the necessary precautions and prepared for any type of tropical system that might impact parts of the state over the next few months. So again, in summary, we are looking at cloudy and cool conditions developing through the weekend, and conditions should improve a little bit on Memorial Day and into early part of next week. But Saturday and Sunday, we could see temperatures as much as 15 to 25 degrees below normal, with some rainfall, anywhere from a quarter of an inch up to an inch in parts of the northeast and east central part of the area. Warmer and drier conditions are expected by the middle to end of next week. No high impact weather is really expected beyond this weekend through the week across north and central Georgia. So with that, we appreciate your time. These are different ways that you can certainly connect with us and follow the latest forecast and conditions across north and central Georgia. We hope that everybody has a good rest of the day and a wonderful, safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.